Okay, and we are live, everybody. Welcome aboard. This is the 51st live stream of Embody the Stage channel. That's still amazing to me. We made it to 50 and now we're passing it. So to me, that's beautiful. And I thank you guys so much. And that literally means we have 50 hours of content in the members like library, I guess you want to call it, which to me is insane. Just the live streams alone, which is awesome to me. But anyways, we are live and we're just letting people fill in. These are the weekly live streams that we do. We do this every what's it called? Every Sunday usually. And if I have to change the day, I'll let you guys know. And for those that aren't going to be here, I always allow them to leave their questions in the comment section of the actual post. So when they know they're not going to be here, they just say, "Hey, I won't be here. Here's my questions," and that way I answer and I get their coaching right away, and therefore everyone still gets their benefit, right? And I always tell people, you know, before they even think about getting coaching with me, because I know so many of you guys, especially when I make these public, you guys will see something like this and maybe be inspired to get coaching. And I always tell those people, like, especially if you're hurting for money, like, please save your money. You don't even need me at all. But if you insist on working with me in some form, I just say save about like a third of the money and just do 1 month of the membership, the tier two. And trust me, like you'll be able to ask me questions 4 times a week and still benefit without paying the bigger number, right? So just keep that in mind. Give me 1 second. Actually, I wanted to jump straight to the actual post, because this week there's people didn't actually have questions, more just updates, and which I wanted to share with you guys because I want you guys to see. Because I don't really share success stories or movement stuff with like every time it happens with members, because if I did, then it would just get like annoying. But it's a big amount. Has like, I think it's like 3 or 4 people now in the last, like, I don't know, 8 days or something, have all reported to me, movement and stuff, which to me is pretty cool. And I thought, you know what, hey, let's read some of the updates out loud and get some advice. 1 second, I should be here. There we go. Okay. So this one is for TJ, and she said, "Hey, Michael, I won't be on today. Flying to Syracuse again for a funeral, but I wanted to." Oh, sorry to hear that, by the way, for the funeral. I hope it goes well, and I'm sorry for any loss um, on your end, and I hope you feel better. I wanted to say, hey, the SP movement is crazy. Went to the concert last night with him, and he's doing everything for me, but I've moved on. And she put a few laughing emojis. But it just proves that what I was doing worked. So fun. Okay, well, first of all, wow, that's awesome. I love that for you. I what's it called? Yeah, like, I'm sorry, I was just clicking like on the comment. That's amazing. First of all, and secondly, sorry, let me just edit my settings. I want to make sure it's not too low. Okay, sorry, my volume might have just exploded up, and I apologize for that, guys. There we go. Okay. I apologize for that. I was down to like 8% for some reason. I had a feeling to go check it. Um, but yes, there you go. You got the evidence that what you were doing was working. And now the thing is even though you moved on, TJ, and in your perspective, it's like, oh, I don't even want it anymore, right? I don't, I don't feel like wanting the same things. It's fine, right? It happens. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen sometimes. Sometimes in the process of, planting seeds and bettering yourself and seeing the world differently, you kind of evolve and realize you kind of want different things. And you realize, you don't need it from that one person. And, if that's what's happening in your case, right, where you say you kind of moved on, that's fine. You've evolved. You're not the same woman that I've, did the coaching call with originally, a while back. You're not the same woman from when you even joined the membership, right? You know, month after month, I got to see you flourish. And this goes for all the members too. And, I see all you guys just developing your own way of understanding. And that's the whole point of this membership. It's to kind of pass on to you guys, you know, it's like it's to teach you how to think for yourself, really. That's really what I'm teaching. I'm teaching you guys to just how to view things. I'm giving you the tools that you can use to then observe and make decisions in your reality, right? That's why I don't sit here and say, oh, you need to have affirm 80 times in the morning, and you need to do this technique and that technique. I don't sit here and give techniques because I don't like doing that. I believe it doesn't matter what techniques you do if you don't understand what you're doing, because you're going to contradict yourself because you don't understand how to look at life. So that's why I teach the concepts. And TJ, like you see life differently now, and because of that, you're getting the movement and actually the result. Hey, Ash, how are you? And I was just touching on something that TJ left because she mentioned that because I think it was a week ago she mentioned that she got invited or something to do with the SP, and then now the update where they actually went to the place together, and yeah, she moved on. She doesn't even want the guy anymore, which is pretty. Yeah, it's not uncommon. I've seen it for sure, but yeah, I was just telling her about you know, just about life and how the evolution works and stuff like that. Yeah, she's doing really good, and she said she's not going to be here. A few members actually, or a couple members, I think, might not be here. They actually messaged me on WhatsApp as well, and or emailed me, and they're all busy stuff today for Sunday for a lot of people, which is fine, 100%. Um, and yeah, anyways, TJ, like congratulations. Just to kind of wrap that up, I'm really proud of you. And you're not the same woman that you were when you joined the membership. And it for me, it kind of makes me feel like I take no credit in terms of you getting any movement or anyone getting movement or results. The only part that I look at myself and where I criticize myself is where I look at it's like, okay, did she evolve from when I met her? And I can truthfully say, yes, you did. So therefore, I feel like I did my job and I'm continuing to do my job when I look at you. So it kind of shows me that I'm kind of on the right path. And I do plan on changing certain things and structuring things more for the member side because I kind of want to use the membership as a place that I refine my teaching and I also grow myself and bring you guys with me for that growth where you guys benefit. Um, and I'm organizing behind the doors when you guys aren't, when you guys don't see me. Um, I'm organizing videos that I have planned for you guys. I plan on doing a full like breakdown, basics. We're going back to the basics. Like we're pretty much gonna do a series of how does Michael see the world and why? That's pretty much gonna be the series. I'm gonna try my best to kind of by the end of it, you guys are gonna see life the way that I see life. Hopefully, that's my aim. And when you do, I think it's gonna be very empowering. And that's the whole point of that series. So stuff like that, I'm kind of working on behind the scenes. But yes, congratulations, TJ. Lovely. And hey, whatever SP does come, just realize, focus back on, hey, I saw that it worked for this one that I don't want anymore. So because of that, why wouldn't it work for this guy? And there you go, apply the same things, right? If you even need to work on your beliefs for that guy, you might have the beliefs already good now, which is why the guy even came back. And therefore, the next guy just might be yours, right? If that's what you want. So 100%, good job. Congratulations. And how you doing, Bruce? Sorry, oopsie, let me fix that. Okay, I originally couldn't come either, but I wanted to ask something, so decided to move around my plans. Okay, no problem. Um, Yeah, 100%. You can ask anything away, Ash. 100%. Take advantage. Literally, you know, I always tell people if whether it's one person, 100 people, 1,000 people, it doesn't matter. Take advantage. Like everyone should be taking advantage of their situation. Come ask your question, and then you can literally ask your question, and you guys can literally leave too, and then just watch the replay later. Remember, this is like your guys' time, right? Whether you guys ask me questions or you just want to listen to me give advice to others, which I know a lot of people do, especially in the replay. It's so funny. Like so many of you guys are like even or even come in for the live sometimes, and just never say anything, which is amazing because it tells me that you guys are getting value from just the answers. So it makes me happy because it's like, oh man, it's less work for me technically. So it's like, how can I complain? And at the same time, it means you guys are benefiting. So it's like good to see like feedback like that. But yes, Ash, ask anything away. Ask whatever you need and do what you got to do. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, I thought that was them in the chat. Okay. Okay, hold on. Now let me get to the next one. The next one is Bruce. Let me get a little drink, a little sippy. Mm. Oh, that's so good. Hey, Michael, following the movement train with TJ, I met my SP today. We had coffee and came to my place for her to give an online class. She's a teacher. And by the way, Bruce, actually, Bruce is, by the way, is another member. There's also a couple of members that I just won't name for their privacy reasons as well, because some of them have asked me to just not name them sometimes when I do, if I ever, just in case I make something public, but just to preserve the other privacies, you know, there's so many members. I think it's like a 4 or 5 now in the last like 8 days at least, and more to come. Like some are already telling me there's more movement. But, everyone's getting all this movement. And, sometimes, and I think this is the direction that this comment's going, just based on what I glanced at. But remember, I always say it's not over until it's done. So no matter what you guys do, getting movement is amazing. Trust me, it feels amazing. But it's so easy to go back to being like lazy, I guess, right? Spiritually lazy. And it's so easy to kind of, just and then tolerate. And then from there, you got to then work again for the contact. And it's a cycle, right? So just make sure that for the ones that got the full results, great. Make sure you don't go back to the old you. That's it. You guys are good. For the ones that got a bunch of movement, but not the final result, I'm going to give you guys some advice very soon about this, like in that situation as well. Let me see. Where did I leave off? I met with my SP. We had a coffee and came to my place to give her an online class. She's a teacher. She laid on my bed. I sat next to her and we had a little cuddly moment with some massage on each other. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing crazy movement because she wouldn't have told me to stop if she wasn't interested. Sorry, she would have told me to stop if she wasn't interested. But at the same time, I can see that me focusing on her not wanting to be with me in the past can create experiences where we do all of this, but she sees me as a sibling instead. I caught blind spots in my awareness that were disregarding movement, such as having nice moments. But since she didn't confess to me yet, they didn't really mean it or disregarding it just because I took the initiative. Been doing good. Oopsie, I closed it. Been doing good, but I'm wondering what you would do in my shoes. Okay, to be honest, Bruce, in your shoes, I really, anytime this happens, like when you get movement and it's not the full picture yet, like for me, number one, I always focus on the good. And it's like, okay, what really happened? Did I make choices internally and then they got kind of reflected and pushed out eventually? Yes, I saw that. Okay, so that's exciting. Like to me, that's super exciting because it reminds me, it's like, hey, okay, even though I don't have the full picture yet, it's something temporary because I know that I already saw evidence that I'm the cause. I just gotta tweak tweak my approach if I need to, or I keep doing what I'm doing, right? I decide. And from there, I know I'm going to eventually get the result. And therefore I'm excited. I have that joyful expectancy, right? I'm in the wish fulfilled. So for me, that's kind of like how I look at things when it comes to that situation. So for you, because you had that little cuddly moment and all these little sweet things here and there, but of course it's not the final picture. To be honest, I would focus on the good, focus on the fact that they cuddled you, right? And then look at all the positives to show that they do like you. So if that's the case, and you can see all these evidences, then for me, it makes sense that whenever I would catch myself worrying about, XYZ, or bothered that they're not mine yet, I would just remind myself, wait a minute, I'm so close. They did all these things. The fact that I could cuddle with this person, that's like, I'm like 90% there. Like 90% of the job's done. I just got to push it over the edge. So for me, it's like I would just focus on the end, no matter what. If the plan has not changed at all, the plan does not change from here. It's still when I crave them, I give them to myself. I become aware of having that because I remember I am all that is, right? So I understand it's like if I'm existing and all possible realities are available for me to push out, then like if I'm this close, why would I stop focusing on those realities that I want? Why would I stop feeling loved? Why would I stop, embodying being aware of being that person, right? And the other thing is I would kind of stop nitpicking, right? I would kind of stop kind of focusing on, what because you kinda mentioned something about, there was a sentence, hold on. I can see that me focusing on her not wanting to be with me. There you go, it's that part. It's don't worry so much about what she does, just analyze it. Just look at it as feedback. If, the next time you see that person is not what you want and it's all, just friendly stuff, okay, that's your feedback. It shows you where you've been the past however think of it like days or weeks. And if you know that, then it's like, okay, can I see evidence in my mind that I kind of did waver? Yes, I saw a lot of wavering. Okay. So therefore, I'm not shocked at the result today. Okay, no problem. Boom. And just like that, I understand, okay, moving forward, what should I do better? Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to stop analyzing every little thing she does or doesn't do. If it's not what I want, I don't give a crap what she does or doesn't do. I just know that I go to the end. And because I keep going to the end and I'm going to be consistent with it, it's going to eventually materialize. And that's the approach that I would use moving forward. Does that make sense? Okay. Um, Whew, let's see. For some unknown reason, like chats are not showing up for me. OMG, not even my own chats are showing up. Why am I being silenced right now? What? I see all your chats. Sorry, I'm just typing in case you can't hear me for whatever reason, but um that is so interesting because I see everything that's being typed right now. The whole chat, I see it, all the chat. And I hope you guys are doing good, by the way, those of you that are here. And those of you that are not here but going to tune in on the replay, if you're watching this, I can see yours. I just can't see mine. Or that's hilarious. It's okay. Don't like wait, you can't even see your own. That's the weird part. What the that is interesting. That is, I mean, are you on desktop or mobile? Because if you're on mobile, just refresh the app and see what happens. If you're on desktop, just Control R, hit refresh, and should bring you back and might fix it. Sorry, let me close this. Just make sure I didn't miss anything on the last part. 1 second. Okay, yeah, you know what? I think I covered what I needed because honestly, that's what it is. It's just stick to the end. The game plan does not change. It does not change no matter where you are in the movement part. Me, if I was manifesting someone and I got to cuddle them and this and that and talk to them and have them in my life, oof, man, like that's a win. I'd be jumping for joy. I'd be like, any day now, it's like gonna reflect. I'd be celebrating every time I think of her. I'd be oof over the moon for that person. Oh my god. What if YouTube banned you low key because you bully people in other videos or something? And or maybe they saw you bullying me. I unfortunately did refresh and and still nothing. I think I'm being bullied by YouTube right now. That's so funny. Um yeah, honestly, I think maybe they saw this has you know what this has to be it. This has to be it. Okay. Get ready. Listen to this. I think they saw you bullying me, right? And they thought, you know what, that Michael guy, he's so innocent. He's so like he's just honestly, he's too innocent to kind of abuse like that. We have to do something about this. And somebody at YouTube that's a big fan of me, apparently, they kind of probably sent it up to the CEO, and the CEO was like, you know what? This Ash girl needs to be stopped. She is too vicious and she's a bully. And they probably shadow banned you temporarily, right? YouTube, if you're watching, could you please unshadow ban Ash's account, please? She's a bully, but she's not the worst I've seen. Oh, and that reminds me actually, um, I was gonna say for you guys, imagine I actually get unshadow banned. That would be hilarious. Imagine that sentence. Literally, imagine that sentence. Like you can now see it, and all of a sudden now it's fixed. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That is so funny. Well, I mean, if you want, you can just ask you can ask whatever you want to ask still because I can at least see it, and then that way I can still give you your answer. Like you don't like. Do you need to see your own? I'm still gonna. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay. Yes. Everyone, ask your questions. Anyone here, and if those want to just enjoy the answers, then enjoy the answers. Don't worry. I do have a uh lovely fancy dinner. It's not fancy, but it's nice. Dinner planned. I got a thing I gotta go to after this too. So I'm probably won't do the full hour, but probably like close to it. Um and I do plan on doing a pop-up sometime this week. I just don't know when. So make sure your notifications are on, guys, by the way. So I'm probably gonna do a pop-up somewhere midweek, Wednesday, Thursday-ish. That's so funny. Imagine YouTube just blocks your entire comment now. Oh god. I gotta look into like oh wait, you know what? I can do that with earbuds actually. I was gonna say I want some music, but there's so much like copyright issues, and it's like I don't know if I can integrate it to a live, but I know at least I could put, my AirPods on or something and have music. I'm excited. By the way, and you guys have no idea these videos that I have planned for you guys. And to be honest, I think it's gonna be like a public thing, but I'm gonna probably allow the members to access it first and just have it for a bit before I officially make it public. But man, those videos where I'm gonna do the basics, I'm actually so excited. I haven't been excited to make videos about like a topic like this in so long, which tells me it's a good freaking idea. Like I as a soul wouldn't be like jumping for joy at the idea if it wasn't something that like was good, that wasn't good, that wasn't gonna help about a bunch of people. So I'm super excited. I just haven't decided like what's the first thing I want to talk about. I could literally talk about you name it, souls, like what the law is. I can even go back to that. It's so many interesting things. Let's see. I was gonna ask about our conversation the other day because I found myself falling into old habits. For example, worrying and wondering when he'll text me again. Oh my god, Ash, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of being a clown? I was wondering if you could just give me some advice. If you could give me some advice or just call me a clown. I mean, yeah, you're a clown. It's just, it's just you're a clown at I don't I'm not a psychologist, but I believe you're a sabotager. You're a little sabotager. There was this game called Dota, which I'm sure you know of, and at least in the original one, or sorry, Dota 2, I think it was. They there was this there was this champion or whatever they call him. I forget. His name was Techies. He's like a small little goblin, and this little goblin was a specialist in like explosives, and he's just like he looks like a little mini like troll that just carries explosives and just like blows himself up and things up. And and you remind me of Techies, because he blows himself up. Like think about it, right? I'm gonna put myself in your shoes and just switch the sexes around and the roles around with different people and just what I'm gonna describe is your life, but I want you to observe it from the perspective as if it's my life, okay? So imagine you're a coach. So if you're watching this, imagine you're a coach. Just play pretend that you know enough about the law to manifest love, health, or wealth. And that's it. Just pretend you're a coach. And imagine now I tell you, I'm a student and I say, hey, so my SP, by the way, I got tons of movement, right? Especially in the past. He- My SP, she told me, and I quote, and I quote, "You know you're mine, right?" Question mark. My SP told me, "You know you're mine, right?" And they said it out of their mouth to me. They made it very clear multiple times that they like me. They have feelings for me, that they want to be with me. But here's the big but. I keep worrying that he's never gonna text me, that I'm just not good enough, that he doesn't want me. I keep wondering when he'll text me. Laughing while you say this is about to make me burst out laughing at myself. Laughing while you say this. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. This is about to make me burst out. Exactly. Think about it. Like, do I not look crazy? Like, would you not slap me? Would you not be like, oh, what are you doing with your life? Like that. Wouldn't you tell me that? Like, think about that. Like, what am I supposed to say? That's the truth. That's how it looks like to me. Like, I see a girl who has the world at her feet, all the potential of the world, right? You got a guy that's you're crazy about, and he's crazy about you. And to me, that's something beautiful. That's lovely. That's something that a lot of people wish they had. You know how many people are manifesting an SP that would kill literally if they got put in a room and said that they had to fight someone till the end for a chance to be in your position. You know how many people would take that offer? A lot. Like you're in such a good position. And you know what? You know what you do? This is you. This is you. 1 second. You're like, okay. I have everything I need right now that I could ever want. All I gotta do is just keep celebrating. I'm this close to getting the last little thing that would complete my life puzzle. This puzzle, it'll complete it. I'm this close, this close. And I have everything here, all the lovely stuff. Let me look around. I'm looking at all the blessings I got. Look at all these beautiful blessings, right? And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna blow it all up. I'm gonna create a problem that doesn't even exist. I'm gonna say, all this lovely stuff that I see evidence of in front of me, I'm gonna assume the worst. I'm gonna assume that I'm not good enough of it. Huh. And then cross my arms, right? That's literally you. And think about that now. Do you, Ash, as an old lady, do you now want to keep doing that little dance you've been doing? By the way, for context, I call her old lady because the last time we spoke, she was talking about her age and she called herself old. And that's just the context. Exactly, right? It doesn't make sense. And hey, Bruce, nice to see you. Hey, Michael, I'm finally here. Hello. And well, there we go. It works. Um, there we go. Can you at least see that other message? Exactly, right? Ash, it doesn't make sense. So think about it from a logical perspective, right? From a logical standpoint. Yeah, okay, there we go. At least it's half the bugs fixed. Okay. So logically, right? It doesn't make sense. Like if I'm manifesting an SP and she told me, you know, you're mine, right? I would be like, I'd be grocery shopping like this, like, you know, like I'd be all cute and stuff. I'd be all like in love. I'd be floating, right? You know, if someone cuts me off, I say, no worries, man. Enjoy. I'd be on cloud nine. Nothing could bother me. I don't care. The fact she said that, I'm like, that tells me I'm that close. It means what I'm doing is working and just analyze. Is there anything I could do better? Or that anything that I overlooked? Am I still keeping alive a bad belief? You know, I do my little checks. And if all systems are clear, I keep doing what I'm doing, right? You can type and I copy paste your message and send as mine. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, we all see them anyway, so it all works out. They just can't see their own. It's okay. YouTube shadow banned them because they bully me, and YouTube loves me, so that's why the CEO is a fan of mine. Actually, he sees Ash picking on me all the time, and you know they just said, hey, we gotta punish her. Ooh, okay. 1 second. What time is it? Okay, we're 30 minutes in. Not bad. Wow, 4:30. Petition to get me on bed. That's so funny. Oh, sorry. Let me fix that. Oh, did that move on its own? That is so funny. There we go. Well, oh, it's because of that. Sorry about that. Let me fix the cable. There we go. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I kicked the cable. Yeah, I have my little whiteboard there that has my little reminders. And hold on. If I stop being a clown, will I get unshadow banned? Yeah, 100%. Like you can, right? You can, but that's a big if. I mean, to be honest, like it's you we're talking about, right? It's not like we're talking about, any of the other members. It's you. And, aside from uh my yeah, to be honest, I don't want to say it because she watches this sometimes, and if I say it, she's gonna beat me. So I can't say what I was gonna say, but ooh, it was so damn good. But what I will say is you are a representative of the clown college. So that's why I say it's a big if. Are you willing to? Are you willing to not be a clown? That's the question, right? And that reminds me, man, that was it Shakespeare that was like to live to die, that is the question. To be or not to be. Yeah, it was to be or not to be. To live, to die. That is the question. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. Um, but man, I was thinking about that like a few days ago, and it just popped in my head again because of the conversation. And I couldn't help but think, like, man, he was so ahead of his time. Think of it from a law perspective, right? To be or not to be, right? It's either to be aware, to be source, to be all that is, or to be lack, right? That's the way I look at it, at least. And then it's to live or to die, right? And a lot of people would think live is the thing you would choose, but to me, death seems the more appropriate because I die daily, right? I think it was Paul that said that. You know, death to in my eyes represents, rebirth. So it's like to live or to die. Live in my eyes, and when I look at that quote, it's keeping the bad alive, right? Put the bad focus alive, right? Giving, as Neville says, being the sap for the branches. So from when I was thinking about that on the way home, I was like, I don't know if he meant to say it like that because of the law, or if it's just a quote unquote coincidence, right? And I was just thinking, I was like, that's such a banger line. To live, to be or not to be, to live to die. That is the question. Like, that is the question. I gotta make a video on that, dude. I actually, I gotta make a little note. Hold on. I gotta make a little note. 1 second. I gotta make where'd I put it? Okay. Let's see. Uh to live to die. That is the question. Okay. But wait 1 second. Wait, I was gonna Okay, sorry. You know what I realized? I didn't even fully answer your question, Ash. My mistake. Let me get to the final piece of advice that I want to give you. Okay. So the thing I want to tell you is, well, first of all, just remember, if you're falling into old habits, the fact that you found it is already, it's already the, um, how would you call it? I don't like to use the word battle because I don't want you guys kind of looking at things like a negative. I don't want you looking at things like you're kind of going uphill and you're kind of going to, what's it called? Go to war, battle in some form. But I say that, that's half the battle because think about it, right? You're aware of the negative. So what comes next is now you're consciously aware. So what comes after being consciously aware of an issue, something that's not benefiting you? It now comes the consciousness of choosing to consciously choose how you view something, right? Of how you're going to view this habit. So you didn't name what the bad habit was, but it doesn't matter what it is that you name. Just think about it, right? It could be anything. It could be, for example, sorry, I think you did mention, my mistake. You mentioned that it was like worrying that when he'll text and stuff like that. Okay, so right away we'll work with that. And okay, so right then and there. So I'll put myself in your shoes. If I'm manifesting an SP and I will, I'll switch the situation around. So if I'm manifesting my SP and she tells me this, whatever, we talk and then I don't hear from her again. And now just like you, I'm starting to wonder, oh, when are they going to text again? I just want to make sure I got the correct. Okay, yeah, when she'll text again. Right then and there, I understand. Okay, wondering when she's going to text. I'm not afraid of that. Like I don't view it like, oh no, it's lack. It's going to ruin my manifestation and this and that and blah blah blah. I don't look at it like that. you know, I kind of look at it in the sense of I kind of now recognize that I miss her and I kind of want her. And that's the only reason why I'm even wondering when they're gonna text. So I look at that like, I this is a good time for me to embody a state, right? And because I know for a fact I wouldn't be wondering in that specific moment in time, oh, when are they gonna text? If I wasn't craving them. Oh, sorry, give me 1 second. The problem is I get anxious off of it. But wait, you get hold on, you're telling me I'm gonna continue being a clown gives me motivation, Loki. Yeah, you are gonna be a clown. That's the truth. Sorry, I didn't see that. But I mean, yeah, you will be a clown. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And yeah, so yeah, I get motivated. So hold on. The problem is I get anxious off it. So when you say I get anxious off it, do you mean like you think about, oh, when he's gonna text me, and then the idea of that wondering like makes you anxious? I just want to make sure I understand correctly before I go on a whole yap session about something that's not even related to what you're asking. Don't worry, I literally didn't see it either. Oh, that's hilarious. Yes, you are correct. Okay. So Think about it. Okay. What do I teach you guys? What have I taught you guys, right? Month after month, week after week, right? Year after year. What I always say about emotions and what they are, where they come from, right? Where does an emotion come from? And if anyone is thinking the answer, sorry, is thinking that the answer is beliefs, you are correct. And since we know this, we know that anxiety is an emotion, therefore, an emotion has to come from a belief. So if you recognize, okay, this thought of when is he going to text me, and now I'm nervous about when he's going to text me, right then and there is a perfect time that I would personally sit down and really think to myself, why would I be nervous about like when like this idea of this idea when he's gonna text me? What do I believe in right now? Like what's really the concern? Because anxiety is like you're expecting the worst, or like you're anxious about the future, pretty much. So what are you worried about? Is the first thing that I would be asking, right? Think about it. You have to believe in something to even feel that emotion of anxiety. So what are you believing is going to happen that would even cause you to feel that way? What is that belief system saying right now? So from that perspective, you then think to yourself, okay, yeah, why am I anxious? Why am I worried about that? It doesn't make sense. Like why am I anxious about when he'll reach out? And for example, I'm not saying this is the case, but it might be that maybe you think that you're not good enough to kind of get the whole picture and get him to fully commit and blah blah blah. In other words, bad self-worth. And because of that, you think he's just not going to text you, that he's okay with not texting you, right? That he's got better things to do. It could be that's just an example. And with that being said, once you kind of recognize that whatever the reason that's causing the anxiety, right? Only you, to be honest, only you can find, only you know the answer, right? I can, of course, help guide you to find it, but in the end, only you can really know the answer. And once you find the reason that you're anxious and what you're believing and to cause that anxiety, that is the moment where you can then go, okay, now do I believe that this is true of me now and forever and in all realities? Do I even believe in the law? Of course, I believe in the law. So now this idea of me not being good enough or whatever, right? Which is why they're not going to even message me, why they're not jumping to message me, is this idea that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, right? I'm not, entertaining enough, I'm not whatever, beautiful enough. Is it true? Well, realistically, no, it's not true. It's not true because, you know, I'm a soul. And just me being a soul, it makes me worthy of love, regardless of what society's view of me is. Because in my reality, my opinion is the most important opinion of all. So if me being a soul makes me as worthy as God, because a soul comes from God and therefore a soul is God or source or all that is, and we are in a dream that we dreamed, as Neville says, dreaming the eternal dream. And when we die, we wake up. And that's why so many near death experience interviews that are telling the truth all have a similar story. They talk about waking up and how there's all a dream that we create. We're God experiencing ourselves. Sorry, I just got a text for the person I'm supposed to be going out to dinner with. Um, hey, nice to see you, Valen. Hello, Michael. Sometimes to embody the state. Hold on. Let me catch up on the chat. Give me 1 second. Uh, uh, uh. Sorry, let me just catch where I left off. Okay. I have a question about chapter 15 of Faith is Your Fortune, in which Neville talks about time. He says that Sundays have a feeling, and our job is to bring that Sunday feeling to a Wednesday. It got me wondering if we need to have a specific idea of when our imaginal acts are taking place, speaking in a linear time. No, to be honest, Bruce, you don't need to condition it with a linear time. That's more like a human thing. Realistically, like source can't be conditioned. I mean, you can condition it if you wish, but the bigger picture, like you can't really like. There's no point conditioning things. And what you should be focusing on is always just the end, right? Celebrating the end. And for me, I would have to read that exact chapter to get the full context of that exact part, because it's not, I don't have it off memorized off the top of my head. But I just also know that he has a lot of double meanings and a lot of things, right? Because Sunday also represents day of rest and so on and so on. And rest equals lack of effort, and less effort equals you know making decisions, and so on and so on, right? It's just like a chain reaction of different things. So without reading, like having memorized the full that chapter specifically, I can't quite remember if he has like a double meaning that he's trying to say there, which I'm pretty sure he does because he's using specific wording there. But in the end, what I will say is your focus really should always be on the end, and fun in different ways. And you know the way you can interpret his work is beautiful in so many different ways, because even if he's not saying certain messages, there's so many that a different mind is gonna get from a different message. Like for me, when I see anyone, like for example, Neville or Abdullah saying, bring the feeling of Sunday to Wednesday, right? Sunday to me is, rest, Sabbath, relaxing, like knowing it's done. Carrying it to Wednesday just means mental dieting, like keeping everything as it should be, effortless, just knowing it's done. And, that's just the way that I would interpret that sentence alone with no context, right? But if I read the full context, I'd have a whole different interpretation, perhaps, or maybe it's the same one. But in the end, it all still applies to law. And that's why I like teaching the concepts, right? Because the concepts are the part that matters the most. Because then you can look at sentences and be like, oh, this makes sense conceptually. So this can work, right? And that's why, I love studying, I love reading. So don't worry about conditioning it with a specific idea of like when are they're taking place. Trust me, higher self knows. If you see yourself shaking hands with someone and that signifies to you finances and wealth and happiness and blah blah blah, higher self already knows. Trust me, God knows. You don't gotta worry so much about adding all the extra little details. But honestly, you can if you wish. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I'm lazy, so I don't do stuff that I don't have to do, right? Like I need to mental diet, meaning I can't sit here just because I know that I'm all that is and this and that, and this is my training ground and blah blah, personal reality. It doesn't mean that I can sit here and just be lazy mentally. I can't sit here and focus on the negative. I can't sit here and always expect the worst and then just be like, oh, but because I know that I'm all that is, you know, I shouldn't have to do anything. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. That's why when people are told certain things, um, you know, and then they come to me so confused, it's why I kind of clear things up for them. Because regardless, you're here to evolve. Just knowing what you are, of course, is great. But as a human, we're always going to need to evolve. We're always going to have little ups and downs. We're always going to have moments that force us to grow and become better as humans, as souls. So it's like it's great to know who you are, but you can't just sit there and be like, "Oh, I know who I am," and therefore nothing's going to change. So for me, that's why I say, carry your mental diet and do all your mental activity, and just make sure you don't view what I'm saying as like effort. That's what I'm trying to get across. 1 second. Sometimes those emotions feel less intense. Does this still mean I'm embodying the state properly? Yes, 100%. Think about it, right? Like a little test I used to do when I was kind of new to the law, and sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't mute it. When I was newer to the law, and I didn't really, I didn't have the understanding that even you guys have. You guys right now know more about the law than I did my first week, and you know, I just kind of evaluated things in my own way of what I thought was correct. So for me, I kind of evaluated things in this sense. I was like, okay, I this crazy Neville guy says feeling is a secret. I thought he meant emotion at the time. And to an extent, I do believe emotion is kind of what he meant still, regardless of him saying he doesn't mean emotion. Because he has so many contradictions where he says, oh, it's not about emotion, but then he tells you use emotion, feel the emotion of this, feel the emotion of that. But anyways, for me, I took it as emotion, and I was like, "Okay, I'm supposed to feel the emotion." And the way he described things in, this one lecture I read and the one book I read, it kind of just made me think like, "Okay, if have a reaction emotionally, that reaction only happened because I believed something in that moment." So, for me, whenever I felt a little different, like, let's say I did any process inside of my mind, I I then would analyze after I do my technique and I feel something, I would kind of think to myself, did I feel this 5 seconds before I did all that mental stuff? And the answer was no. So that is my reminder that, hey, I still embodied, like, in other words, I must have changed my beliefs system. I must have embodied the state, right? State is just set of beliefs. So I must have embodied the multiple beliefs required in order to reflect the thing that I want. In other words, I prayed correctly. I embodied the state. I said, this is who I am now. And I felt that reality for just a few seconds. And I recognize that I wouldn't have done that normally. Like when I think to myself, would I have felt that if I just kept existing without doing any techniques? No. Therefore, I know what I did was the cause of that. Therefore, it tells me I changed my beliefs and therefore I embodied the state. Okay, great. And just like that, that's how I then viewed it. So even a little shift is still telling you that you've changed your belief systems in that moment. Because remember, what do I always preach? Video after video. Beliefs are the thing that come first, emotions and thoughts come afterwards. And Neville himself has told his audience to not just believe that, but to test it. He says, embody the state of your wish fulfilled and watch the direction of your mind and watch where your heart goes, right? You're going to notice that, you embody the state, you feel the emotional reaction usually, and then your mind starts seeing everything in a positive light regarding that goal. That's how it works. The belief first and all the lovely things come after, or the unlovely things. That's why changing your belief system is what changes your whole reality. And that's why Neville and all the other people are just teaching you different ways to change your belief system, right? Everyone believes their way is the best. And for me, the more I learn and the more I understand, I kind of realize like there's no best. If there was a best, it would be globally agreed upon, like, okay, number one, this is the only and best way. No other way makes sense. It's not as valid. It's too much effort, too much time to wait. This always gets you in this time frame. There's a reason why that doesn't happen. So you kind of understand, but it's like, okay, Michael, but why then? Why not? We just haven't discovered it. No, you're never gonna discover it. It's not gonna be like that. At least now, because like I said, it would be globally agreed upon, right? 'Cause think about it, right? There's people who truly believe listening to stuff as they fall asleep is going to manifest their goals. And a lot of those people are not going to get results because they're using the law against themselves in a lot of ways during the day, especially. And think about it, right? If people think that, listening to certain stuff is going to make them billionaires overnight, just remember, if that was really the case, do you not think at least like one human would have like figured it out and stumbled upon it and then just been like, guys, this crap actually works. You got to try it. And then the next person tries it and then they get results and they confirm it. And then they're like, yeah, I'm making a video. Yeah, me too. I tried it. It works amazing. And then it starts a whole chain reaction. And now there's a group of people that all have evidence that have proven, like, hey, one shot done, easy peasy, boom. That hasn't happened. Because if that happened, then I would be learning the stock market. I would learn how to be a day trader, right? I would be the best of the best if learning worked that way for everything, but it doesn't, right? So that's why I tell you guys, just invest in your own learning, right? And that's why I love teaching you guys. It makes it so fun. So knowing these little details allows you to then understand, hey, even a tiny shift still implies I changed who I was. So I kind of hope that gave you the answer you were looking for. Let's see. I just want to see what I missed. Did I miss anything? Yes, you are correct. Okay. Okay, guys. What's it called? Ash, if you're still here, did I miss anything on the stuff that you asked? Because you were one of the first to ask. If you feel I missed anything or you have another question, let me know. If anyone has another question, get it out into the open ASAP before I call it, because I am going to wrap it up very soon, as I have to get to uh, a nice a nice dinner, and the person I got text, I'm getting yelled at. I have my door unlocked, so they're gonna just walk in any minute now. So I'm just, you might even see me get beat on camera. So I'm kidding. I'm not gonna get beat. Let's see. Have you seen those AI lectures from Neville on YouTube? Yep, I've seen a lot of them, and a lot of them say stuff that he never said. For me, every time I hear the AI voice, I just instantly close it. I don't even bother to wait to find if it's realistic or not. It's just I don't reward that. I don't even give it watch time, just nothing. Like, boop, I'm not gonna put money in that guy's pocket for doing that. So I try not to focus on it, and thankfully, I haven't seen much of it as much as I used to. Um, but I've seen some stuff. There are some channels, right? I did recommend one channel a long time ago, that does use AI to mimic Neville's voice, but the thing is they just copy paste the actual lectures into the script. So it's still the real lectures, it's just Neville's voice. Like that I'm fine with because you're not changing Neville's original work. You're not saying he said things that he didn't say and then misleading people. That I'm okay with. The channel is called Wisdom Untold, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't listened to any of their stuff in the last like eight months at least, so I don't know if they went a different direction or if they're still doing that. But they had a good amount of collections of stuff with like high quality. It was really good. It was a really good Neville clone. Um, but I don't know if they kept up with it. I haven't really checked. But that's what it was called, I believe. Wisdom Untold. And if I'm not mistaken, they even show you the page of the book or the lecture that they're reading too. So you can actually screenshot and like highlight on your own little parts too, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'll always give props to other content creators that do cool stuff like that benefit others. So yeah, 100%. I have no issue sharing that information. I'm not greedy, right? If it was my goal to have 1 million subscribers, I would manifest it and live by what I teach, right? Um, maybe one day, maybe when I have all the other bigger things that I care about accomplished, maybe we'll set out a goal like that. We'll start with smaller increments and we'll just test it. We'll see how far it goes. Let's see. Okay. No, I don't think you missed anything. But if you had anything else to add about breaking bad habits, feel free to include. Okay, Ash. To be honest, it's all a conscious thing, right? Like I think for you, it's because you're a sabotager. That's why it's like hard for you. I like. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I do know how to explain it. It's just I don't know the right words to make it like click all at once for you in one sentence. Is what I'm trying to say. I I think it's just something that you need to learn through experiences, good and bad, perhaps. This is my idea, and I think you kind of had enough of the bad where you're now learning a lot, where you kind of realize like I don't want this. Because think about it, do you want 2026 to be the same crap as 2025? Like, do you want to be entering 2027 being like, all right, guys, here we go, like manifesting SP? No, or do you want to enter 2027 with like, oh my god, me and SP are actually going to be in your city. I don't mean to be weird, but did you want to, talk law or whatever, with the SP and everything, and or something, just as an example, like wouldn't you like to send those type of messages out and things like that? Wouldn't you like to talk with your friends and be like, oh, me and you know SP, doing, we'll be there? Would you prefer that? Exactly, right? And oh, exactly. So when you think of it like that, it's a conscious choice, right? I know that there's a sabotager in you, and I've spoken about this in the last live about how it's like I noticed it's the same type of people, like same type of souls. They choose a really nice package, but it's like they just make it challenging on themselves, and that's how it is, right? You, for whatever reason, like you have the world at your disposal, and it's your personal reality, and you sabotage yourself. So the question is are you gonna catch yourself, like, are you fed up with the lack of results? Are you still content? Like, are you still comfortable in life? Are you okay going another year without the love of your life? And if the answer is no, then that means my best advice would be you have to consciously catch yourself when you're doing these silly things, when you're using the law against yourself in any form. So, for example, you mentioned worrying when they're going to text you, worrying that when they're going to text you passively implies you have a desire for that person to text you. Therefore, the desire has fallen upon you, as Noah would say. Why not use that instead to give it to yourself? Feel the relief of them texting you what you want them to tell you. And just like that, you've broken one bad habit that you would normally have reinforced. And yeah, it might pop up again because of how natural you've made it, but that's okay. Do the same thing in a different fun way this time. Maybe it's, a different message. Maybe it's him messaging you on Discord. Maybe he invites you to play a game or something. Who knows? Maybe he says, "Hey, like for me, I used to stream for my partner. She'd watch me play games or whatever, and she would just want to be there. And even if we're arguing and we're fighting, we're not happy with something, and we were upset, she'd still be there, unless one of us asked for space. And she would want to be at least streaming, connected with me there, listening to me talk, and eventually we would talk, right? Okay, not our yeah, no, I didn't she wasn't we weren't together by the time our Raiders came out. So for her and I streamed other stuff. But um for you guys, that's your favorite game, right? You said it yourself. You said, "I love Arc Raiders. It's number 1, the best." And, so, yeah, maybe he'll stream Arc Raiders for you, right? Maybe he'll be like, "Hey, do I stream am I more fun to watch than the other guy?" You know, if I was him, I'd be a troll like that too. I would literally piss you off like that if I was in his shoes. I'd be like, Am I better than the other guy?" And I just look at you, like, with a funny look, and I just, like, squint, and then I just drink my little squinting. You can't see because of the Ray-Bans, but I squinted very suspiciously, you know? And maybe he'll do that, and then you 2, have your little banter and have fun, right? Don't you wanna have those moments? Me, I love making my woman jealous playfully, not like, like abuse her, and not in that it sounds so bad. It's a Latin thing, okay? We love making our women like a little like fiery, like if I'm looking at something over there, I'll make a comment that I know is not gonna hurt her, but it's gonna make her playfully jealous. And when they just smack you on the chest or arm, ooh, it's my favorite. So like that's the things that I think about, right? So what do you want to do with your guy? He already does this a little. Oh well, there you go. There you go. So I have that too. Haha. I like to make fun of her. Let you know. Yeah, 100%. That's true. He already does. Yeah. Well, there you go. Start see now embody those things. See him doing it and just, feel that love like you want to just beat him. Like beat him with love, Stuff like that. Just silliness. But anyways, that's my advice to you, okay? I'm trying to think did I miss anything else? No. That's my advice. Catch yourself. Switch it around, right? Wanting someone to text you is a desire. Give it to yourself. Give what the hell you want to yourself. And recognize that by doing that, you're breaking the habit. Therefore, you're going to get the results. So celebrate and expect. That's my 2 cents. But anyways, I wish you guys a very wonderful rest of your evening and or day, depending on what time you watch this. I have to get ready for my little dinner. Thank God I just have to change real quick. I already showered and everything, so I get to save some time. And I am starving, so I can't wait to eat. So with that being, and I'm pretty sure they just got like they're I'm pretty sure I just heard their car parking. So I got to get going. And thank you so much. Thank you, Bruce. And I hope you guys enjoyed the advice. Keep your eyes open. I will be posting the challenge for the month very soon. I just have to get it typed out, or I might make a video, to be honest, if it's too much to type. I'll see. I think I can get it typed out. And other than that, sorry, I'm trying to think. Any other content stuff? I'll announce that soon. Have a wonderful week. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we're good. Okay, guys. Thank you for your help, Michael. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much. Ash, thank you everyone for being here. For those of you that are watching the replay as well, thank you. And for everyone else, yeah, this was another tier 2 weekly live stream. Got to give some advice out. A lot of people were just busy today as well, which is fine. Everyone told me in advance. And also, even the lurkers didn't have questions, which is great, which means people are getting value from the advice, because that's the whole point, right? It's supposed to save you guys from like buying coaching with me. Of course, I get it. Some people want like specific help for something new that pops up or that's bothering them. I get that. That's different. But in general, it's like this can be used to replace having to work with me privately, and saves you tons of money. So that's why like I kind of build it like this, to kind of get all that information out for you guys to have it there immortal, like eternalized. It's there whenever you need it to re-listen and take advantage, guys. Okay. So I look forward to seeing you guys probably midweek. I'll do a pop-up live stream. 100% we'll do the other one on Sunday, and bring all your damn questions. If you don't bring them on the middle of the weekish when I do the pop-up, bring them on Sunday. Take full advantage, guys. All right. Take care, guys. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on where you are. Bye-bye.